I'm Karoli, I'm the founder of JobBatical. JobBatical, we like to say that we are building borderless world through jobs. So we have a community of tech and creative talent who want to work in another country, like borderless talent, and we match them and help to relocate to the far-flung cities of the world.
Yeah, a great idea, and my question was about Mars. It's nice to meet you because it's very difficult to see the people who look in cross-border, cross-country, and actually globally. So recently the Michio Kaku was saying on the big thing about the transition to the civilization type 1. So where the internet is global telephone, where there's no borders, and we have a mutual ideas like global goals of United Nations. It's actually a new global culture that we should follow and so on. So you're in Russia. Russia is now making more and more borders to the world and so on. So do you believe it's all just temporary, because we should make the system that allows us to have that passport from UN where we're all the humans?
If you ask what I believe, then I do believe that I believe what we see in the kind of closing down trends, and it's not only, I mean, we see that in the United States, we see that in UK, is a reaction to the actual trend. So the actual trend is that people are moving much more than ever, and in order to accommodate that, there's a reaction to it. But the reaction will pass because we are more like, can you imagine if you have a Skype call and then somebody would say that, but where is your visa for the call? Like, we're sitting, basically we can have a video conversation like we're sitting in the same room, but we are not required to have a visa to do that, right? So from there you think, like, why do we even need that visa? Like, how does that help the society? How does that help the humanity? And I believe where we will get is that the countries will have to because, like I said in my speech, that if you want to win, you have to rethink. If you don't want to win, you will not rethink. And the question is, who are going to be the winners? Who will be able to attract people? Who will be able to accommodate the good people who will then contribute to the economies, right? So I do think that, I don't think that we will have like a global village and one identity. I think people need communities, but I think the communities are changing, and in many ways, like digital nomads, this is one type of community, very like-minded people, and it doesn't matter, are you Russian or are you Estonian or are you Australian, you are connected because this is how you are. So I think we will see the shifts of what the communities will be, and I think the countries will have to adapt to it if they want to win.
So we are on StartupVillage. It's called Village, and I'm just recently on big conference for sustainable cities. Was talking about that we actually should destroy all the cities, because all the cities like Babylon, it's so old. It's a technology of thousands years. So your ideas and thinking about this mix of the ideas, nationalities, and one human. It's also about something like kind of breaking the walls. It's making the unity for any ideas. So do you think there will be a really change of the names and the cultures, like villages and the cities, and something like new, like a Sota living or whatever, the bees and the Sotas, or some kind of that? That's about Mars, because maybe you heard, like Elon Musk explained the democracy on Mars, where all the laws will be broken down in 1 month because it will be outdated and so on.
So basically, and I think that's really cool, because again, like a lot of the policy that we see is outdated. So we were talking about work. Like, if you think about the work policy, then it's very much based on what it was 50 years ago or 100 years ago, where people were living a completely different life. So I think, in a way, what Elon Musk can do there is that you don't need to break down an old house. You can just build a new house from the best possible ideas. The challenge on Earth, coming back to Earth, is that we do have those kind of old frameworks, and kind of breaking them down is a little bit more difficult than building a new house. So I think it will be more challenging to make those kind of changes on Earth. But I think, like, very much the same, the mobility trends, the work trends, the fact that, I mean, if you look the same Japanese example, if you don't have people to fill jobs, you have to do something. It's one of the countries that is forecasted to to have a danger to become extinct. So
Yeah,
if you don't
so-
change
So
your
actually, I call it we should be transferring the people from the human and Homo sapiens to creative sapiens.
Creative
So
sapiens, I like
creative
that.
sapiens is a new evolution for
that's
the
a very
human beings.
interesting thought. It's-
Okay, thank you very much. It was nice to talk to you, and
Thank you.
I will put it on my channel in YouTube and in Twitter. So my Twitter is iLikeGreen Anton Boym. So you can find it easily, and